Welcome back, eSIM Studios. Got another case review for the Samsung Galaxy S25 Ultra. This is the blue one. For those of you who are wondering, it is staying cool. The black one was sent back. It was overheating. This one, just to let everybody know, staying cool. The white one we have, staying cool. So it seems to be an isolated issue. But that's another story for another day. Let me show you what this case is. So this is the official Samsung Galaxy S25 Ultra clear case, transparent protective cover, sleek and smooth design, durable, US version. And you get the model number right there. Now, for those of y'all wondering, this is on sale. Check this out. This is an official Samsung case on sale for $12, basically half off. Original price $25. Down to $13. Check that out. Absolutely phenomenal. We did get it a few days ago. Have been using it for a couple of days. As you know, you may hear it once, you may hear it twice. We do the best case reviews here on YouTube. They may be a little longer than your average case review, but look, we embrace that. If you love cases like we do, then you're going to love these case reviews. So we do have a lot of new viewers. And just to give you a very brief history on my case usage, I typically hate using clear cases. For one, fingerprint magnet. For two, sometimes they get yellow. Now, obviously, I don't keep my phones more than a year. So like when the S26 Ultra comes out, I'm going to trade this in and get an S26 Ultra. I don't care if the S Pen comes with Bluetooth or it doesn't. I'm just getting a new phone. So I don't have clear cases long enough to see if they yellow over time, right? So it is what it is. We can't obviously test that the yellowing, but we can test is the fingerprints. But with my usage over the last couple of days, this out of all clear cases, and again, I don't typically buy them. This has been the one that I enjoy the most, just because it's super duper thin. And you don't really need something bulky, right? This phone is apparently, I'm not going to say indestructible. It's been dropped 7 feet from heights of 7 feet for Samsung set up to 1,300 times. Now, I haven't seen any proof from that, but I've seen videos where they drop it at 7 times from 7 feet tall, and the front display is nice and intact. There are no cracking. In the back was intact, no cracking. So this can survive drops from decent heights, right? So you don't need something super duper bulky because the display is not going to crack and the back is not going to crack. You're just going to need something. Now, what will happen is if you do drop it and you don't have a case on it, you're going to get scratches on the corners. You're going to get a dent in the titanium or maybe a dent here on the camera housing. So you don't need something super bulky because this is not basically going to break. Who drops their phone from higher than 7 feet, right? Most drops are from 3 to 4 feet. So you just need something that's going to prevent scratching and denting. And if you do like clear cases, well, this might be for you, especially at that good price. So here is what it looks like. Let's see if we can see through this is after a couple of days of usage. You see that though? I tried to buff that out. There's like a little, is that a scratch? I thought it was a smudge, right? So I literally just spent the last few minutes trying to buff it out before I hit record. And you can only see it under certain lighting. You see it right there where my middle finger is? That's why I try to have the flashlight on my phone. Let's see if we can see in here. So it's just barely there. But other than that, it's pretty good shape. I've had it on for the last few days. Now, there are no air pockets, right? It is very thin. It is kind of flexible, not really. This is a polycarbonate, clear PC back and border all the way around. The buttons here feel like they're TPU, meaning like it's not polycarbonate here because it has to have some sort of flex. You got to push the buttons, right? You can't have those stiff. So those can push in a little bit. You do have protective ring there around your sensors, and you got cutouts for your autofocus and your fourth camera sensor there, and your flash in the middle. You have cutout up here for the two microphones. This side's completely flush. Now, You do have this big opening here for your power speaker microphone at the bottom. And then you got a hole for your S Pen right there. So this came on it. Now, not exactly sure why. I thought like the other Samsung case, where is it? Hang on. Do I have it right here? Here we go. This is the silicone case. Now, for those of y'all wondering, the case I use most out of all the cases have been this one. This is the grippiest case. It is super duper grippy. It's not your traditional silicone case where it's super flimsy. It's not your traditional silicone case where it feels cheap. This feels like the real deal, Holyfield. It's got PC backing in here. It's even got a PC border, meaning a border around here. But this is not a review. I've already done a review of this. If you want to see this, I'll probably link the review of this in the description box below. But what I was getting at is this QR code. This case here came with this QR code inside here. And my wife was like, she peeled it off because she just thought it was a sticker after I did the review. Or was it before? I can't even remember. But I was like, you know what? I think that's for the wallpaper. Like, I think when you put the phone in the case, it'll change it's like an interactive wallpaper. It'll change your wallpaper to match what the case is. Now, I didn't peel that off on here because I wanted to see if that was the case. No pun intended. And I haven't been able to tell the difference. I don't know if it's a setting I changed in there or what, but let's go ahead and put it on. So there is a couple of negatives about this. Now, they didn't send this to me. I bought this on my own. As you can tell at the beginning, Amazon said I had purchased it 4 days ago. So let's put this on and see if this will change the wallpaper. Let's put this on and see what kind of protection we get. So the downside, the good side, it's nice, thin, it's clear, it's see-through. You get to see the nice color of your S25 Ultra. No matter what color you got, looks good in here, even if you got black. So putting it in here, the easiest way is to put the side in where your power and rocker, volume rocker is at. And just simply snap this other side in. Now, make sure each corner is on. And there you go. Very nice. Now, that's always a concern down here, is this cutout. But if you notice, like would this edge hit the counter if you lay it down face flat? No, because right here and right here sits higher. These two corners of the case sit higher than this edge of the phone. So when you lay it down, this edge of the phone is not going to scratch. But it gives you a nice exposed area for your accessories, your Type-C speaker, your SIM card ejector, and your mic down there, and your S Pen. Let's try the S Pen. Nice and easy. Now, it's best to get your fingernail in there. That's maybe one downside, that it's not a ginormous hole. You kind of have to use your fingernail, but I mean, you can use your tip of your index finger or whatever finger you want to use. But let's look at the protection. So it does appear, so this ring barely, so I would say it's like 0.2 millimeters higher than the camera sensor. So it's not flush, but it's damn near close. So just be aware of that. If it is flush, let me see if I can focus it on here. See that? See where it just barely sits up and over the sensors? You want to be careful, because if you do set it face down, you don't want your camera sensors to get scratched. Now, will they wobble? Let's find out. Still a little bit of wobble. Not as bad as a naked phone, because it's kind of bad when you don't have a case on it. But still wobbles, just not as bad. Screen protection. Barely comes up and over. As you can look on the far side, barely comes off. So this is a very, very minimal case. Now check this out. If you scan, see there's a QR code on there. If I got my S24 Ultra, S24 Plus, if you scan, it just brings that up. I don't know if that's a serial number. I don't know what's going on with that, but not really sure. It has not changed the wallpaper or anything on here, so not really sure what's going on, but even if you go to hang on, let's see here. Turn that up. Even if you go to wallpapers, let's try this. Interactive. Now, it is a pain in the ass to take off, so just beware. It's a very, very tight fit case, but let's see what the wallpaper looks like right here. And if we put it on, does it change? Doesn't look like it. Yeah, well, it is a little slippery, so just beware. There's no grips along here. And does it get fingerprints on here? Let's try. Let's see. Cleaned it just before I hit record. Let's get it nice. Let's put some fingers and hands on it and see in the light if it's fingerprinty. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna rub my forehead. And let's see. Rub my face again. Let's see. Whoa. Is that my hair? Damn, it is. Sorry. Okay, it could get a little greasy, so, just beware of that. Again, I did clean it and make it look nice and pretty before I hit record. And now I put my pizza face grease on here, and it's looks like a pizza. So, no, I'm just joking. But as you can tell, look, it is a clear case, so it is going to show some fingerprints, some smudges. This is not as bad as others. Actually, the quality of the polycarbonate they use appears to be pretty good. But look, it's not foolproof, right? It's clear. It's going to show some fingerprints and some smudges. So just beware. Know what you're getting into. But hey, for what was it, $12-13? Can't beat it. It's official Samsung product. It fits it like a glove, and I think you're gonna like this if you add this to your collection. I don't typically use this. Don't like clear cases, but out of all the clear cases I have used in the past, this is near the top. Just probably because it's an official case. Buttons push nice and easy. You don't have to worry about that. Everything lines up just fine. So I'm going to put a link for this, as I mentioned, in the description box below. And we'll see you in the next one. Peace.